Thank you so much for being part of this show. So, if you're joining us on Facebook, you can kindly share with your friends so that they can also participate. You share the videos on your WhatsApp status or even in other groups so that even other people can also benefit from this show. So today I have a special guest in the studio with me, and it's actually his first time being with me here, and I would like him to introduce himself. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Morning, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Can you kindly tell us your name and even tell us more about yourself?
Alright. So my name's Ivan Mapeva. Yeah, those are my names. Coming from Copper Belt, Ndola. Yes. I'm a third year biomedical engineering student at Evrenon College, also a peer educator and an author in that case.
Wow, interesting. So he is the third year biomedical student, he is a peer educator, and what else? An author.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you've written some books before?
Yes.
Okay. Kindly tell me maybe one book which you wrote.
Alright, so I have one which is it's called The Bathroom Battle. Yeah, so in that book I'm talking about how myself personally I got exposed to pornography and masturbation, and how I traveled that journey and how I was able to overcome it. So in that book I explained all those things. Yeah, so that's what that book is about.
Wow, that's interesting. So our dear viewers, we have someone who wrote a book, about he was addicted to pornography and he was able to overcome it. And there are a lot of people who have this addiction, and I'm sure this book will be of great help. Yeah, but we won't talk much about that. And by the end of this show, you give out your number so that if at all there's someone out there who want to have an access, to your book, can be able to get it. Yeah, so before we go deep into today's topic, dealing with loneliness, I would like you to share something brief about the self-love campaign. You are amongst the people who attended the campaign, 30 days of self-love under Heart and Soul Transformational Therapy Center. What are some of the things which you learned from the campaign?
Okay, so from that campaign, we learned a lot of things. We learned about, like the topic said, you're talking of self-love. We learned about self-discovery, the heart of loving yourself. We're talking about forgiving yourselves, forgiving your past mistakes and looking forward to the future. Yeah, how you can interact with others. And just they say you can't give what you don't have, and
Exactly.
You can only have what you give.
Yes.
So in that whole month of self-love, we were learning to have something within us that we can give to others. Because if we don't have that love for ourselves, if we don't accept ourselves, if we don't forgive ourselves, it's not easy to forgive others. It will not be easy for us to love others or accept others. So the campaign was all about that. It encompasses a lot of things, and we learned a lot, and I believe it will go far in our lives.
Wow, that's interesting. So he learned more about forgiving himself so that he can express the self-love out there. It starts with himself, then he can also extend it to other people. Now, our dear viewers, if you're joining us right now, we are looking at dealing with loneliness. So dealing with loneliness, there are a lot of people who are lonely into this world, So we would want to start by looking at, loneliness, for the sake of someone who hasn't. Of course, there are some people who've come across this word, for the sake of someone who doesn't know what loneliness is. What is loneliness?
Okay, the word loneliness, it can be defined in many ways, but for me personally, I define loneliness as the state or a condition of distress or discomfort that is caused by one perception of an fulfilled social desire. So what I mean is a person feels lonely because they feel that social desire that they want, it is not met. I'll give an example of a child.
Yes.
So you may give everything to a child, new clothes, money, food, everything. But the child will still be lonely or will feel sad, maybe because their favorite toy has broken or it is lost.
Yeah.
So because of that, the child will be lonely. Because that desire, that social desire that he wants, it is not met. Or I'll give an example of a youth, maybe personally myself. There are instances where I have everything. This is
Yes.
something most of us youths are experiencing. I have everything, I have friends, I have my phone, everything is there. But I'll still feel lonely or feel sad, maybe because my phone has no bundles.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I've actually come across that
Yeah.
many times.
Yes. So that lack of bundle will cause the loneliness in me because I feel that my social desire will not be met.
Okay.
I'll not be updated with what is happening. I'll not be connected with friends. So because of that, I'll feel sad within me and I'll be lonely.
All right. Now, from your explanation, you've talked about children being lonely. You've also talked about the youth. So, are these the only people who get lonely, or maybe there's also another group of people who can get lonely?
Loneliness, it's not only the children and the youths. Even other people feel lonely. Yeah, so there are many things that can cause loneliness. Maybe we talk of a divorce.
Okay.
Yes, a married couple, they divorce. You know, you are used to a person, you are used to talking to a person, waking up, seeing them, and they are not there. So you feel that loneliness. Or when we talk of elderly people,
Yes.
maybe you get retired,
Yeah.
or you are caught up with age. But because you are used to being with friends, you are used doing some activities there and there, and then in the offices, and then you come back home. All day you'll be home, you have nothing to do. Because of that, inside you have that feeling of missing something, like something is not complete.
Yes.
So your social desire will not be met. So for that,
Okay.
you experience loneliness.
Social desire. I love that, dear viewers. Yeah. So you talked about one of the causes, of loneliness. So are there more causes to this loneliness? If we have our dear viewers out there, someone would say, okay, there are some people who don't have self-awareness. Maybe they don't know that what is happening to them, it is a cause of their loneliness. So
Yeah.
kindly share more light on that one.
Okay, so first of all, I want to make mention of this to say loneliness varies from person to person.
Okay.
And one thing we should know is it's not something permanent. It can only be permanent if you decide it to be so. So there are a lot of other things that can cause loneliness depending on a person. We can talk of shyness. There are people who are lonely because they fail to open up to new people or making new friends.
Yeah.
They are scared to talk to people, or they are insecure about themselves. So they feel if they talk to this person or they approach this person, they'll be looked down on or they'll not be accepted. So being shy is one cause of loneliness. Yeah, so we are also talking about bad behavior.
Okay.
You just have that bad character. I remember very well when we were young, our parents would tell us, you can't play with this one,
Yes.
or don't visit that house because they have bad manners, or it will teach you bad manners. So people would distance themselves from you because of your character.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, how you expose yourself or how you come out when you are with people.
There are actually some people who are too moody. You try to talk to them,
Yes.
they respond to you in a
Yeah,
more
yeah.
aggressive manner,
Yes.
such kind of things.
Yes.
And I also feel even in marriages, you find that, a couple, one of them is lonely because maybe the other partner doesn't talk to the partner in a
Yes.
good way because of that behavior.
Yeah.
Wow, this is so interesting.
Yeah. So in fact, I even wanted to go there. I wanted
Okay.
to talk about the feeling of being unappreciated.
Yes.
It's one major cause of loneliness. Like you said, you are with this person, they are your partner, you do everything for them, you support them, you are there for them, but still they can't appreciate you. It's like you want them to notice you, but it's like them, they've decided not to care about what you do, what you say, or how you look for them. It's all about them. So because you feel unappreciated, you always be lonely. You always think, where am I missing it? What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, it's true.
Yes,
You know.
so all those will leave you lonely thinking, and you end up getting depressed.
Yeah, you're actually right.
Yeah.
You find that, this is a home setup, then mamuna alikuchani kwake, kuna mkazi akuchani kwake.
Yeah.
Like there's no good communication in that house,
Yeah.
whereby someone will start feeling lonely.
Yeah.
And like you've said it, someone will start feeling like, did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
Maybe I said something which my partner didn't like. Someone will start having these intrusive thoughts, and then, like you said, they'll bring about depression. Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about unforgiveness.
Okay.
Yeah, you become lonely if you don't forgive yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there are instances in life where maybe an event happens and you blame yourself for that. You feel, oh, if I did this, I would have prevented that from happening. Or if I said this, I would have prevented that from being done. So because you blame yourself for something that happens, you don't want to forgive yourself, you end up being lonely.
Yeah.
So unforgiveness is another cause of loneliness, and it's very common, especially among youths, because there are a lot of mistakes we've done to others, to our friends, to our partners, to our exes, and because we feel we would have done it a different way. Yeah, so for that we are always blaming ourselves, and when you keep blaming yourself, you don't move on.
Yeah, it's true.
So you remain alone because you don't want to go to the next thing or try the other thing, because you feel if you go there you make the same mistake or you cause the same pain you caused someone. So for that you end up being lonely. Also, loneliness can be caused by low self-esteem.
Yeah.
Yeah, those people have low self-esteem or who believe less in themselves. They are mostly victims to loneliness.
Okay, yeah, that's very interesting. Now, taking it back to a home setup, this is a parent who is always busy with work, and he or she doesn't have a good time with their children. Can there be loneliness in that house when it comes to the children?
Yes, it is there. Reason why it's because as children, we just don't stay in our homes all the time. Sometimes we visit our friends. So when I visit my friend, I'll see how that person is treated from their place. How they're always having time with their parents, how they're always making jokes as a family, having that family dinner, that family meeting. And then when I come in my place, the only thing I see is my mother is on the phone, my father on the PC, my older brother doing his own things. Like no one cares.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, are there some effects of loneliness or the impact of it?
Yes, there are impacts of loneliness. Like I said, one of them is depression.
Okay.
Yeah, if a person is lonely for a longer period of time, they tend or they become depressed.
Okay.
Yeah, also we are talking of anxiety. So anxiety, it is defined as the thought or the thought for the future events. You are worrying about what is going to happen tomorrow. Like I said, you don't want to forgive yourself.
Yes.
You are scared, okay, I made that mistake in my previous relationship. So if I go in another one, or I might make the same mistake.
Yes.
So because of that anxiety, yeah, so loneliness can cause that anxiety. And some researchers have said that continuous loneliness causes death or suicide.
Yeah.
Because you feel there is no way out. So the only way to escape your pain or the only way to escape your depression is you taking your own life.
Okay. So our viewers, you've heard it for yourself. This loneliness is a big thing. Some of us, we always say, okay, I'm lonely. It's more like it's just a word to us, but there's more to it. We've seen it will lead you into depression. It will lead you into having anxiety disorders. And sometimes you can end up isolating yourself from other people. And from what we've said, including killing yourself. Wow, this is too big,
Yes.
Now, are there solutions, if there's someone out there who feels lonely, maybe because they're having a bad behavior, some people isolated themselves from them, or maybe someone is lonely because they're failing to forgive themselves, or it is in a house setup where there's no good communication and someone feels lonely. Are there solutions, on how someone can be able to deal with this loneliness?
Yes, so like I said first, loneliness is something which is temporal, but it can be permanent if you yourself decides it to be so. So for that, there are ways in which you can overcome loneliness. So one of them is embracing your creativity.
Okay.
So what I mean by embracing your creativity is we've all experienced something. So I've experienced my pain, we've gone through some pains, we've gone through some loneliness. It's for you now to discover that and present it in a way which is creative. I've seen people who were lonely, but they came to heal themselves maybe through music. So they expressed their pain through music. Others, they expressed their pain through writing. So every experience you have or whatever you've gone through, find a way of presenting it creatively. It's a one way of overcoming depression, and it will keep you busy.
Yes.
Yes. You prolong loneliness if you are always alone.
Yeah,
but if you can present it in a creative way, you even meet other people. If I'm lonely, I write it, I share with others. I'll find that maybe 4 out of 10 others have experienced the same thing. So they'll reach me. From there, there'll be a conversation. I'll open up more. Yeah. And healing will happen in me because I've met people with the same experience. I've met people going through the same pain as myself. So I realized to say I'm not the only one. There are others, or others who are worse than me. So whatever you are going through, whatever you've experienced, whatever pain you faced, find a way of presenting it creatively. You have to embrace your creativity. Also, we are talking about self-acceptance.
Yes.
Accept yourself. Accept your flaws. We are not perfect. No one is perfect. If you feel if I approach that person, they will not accept me because I'm black, or they will not accept me because I don't know English, there are people out there who accept you the way you are.
Yes.
Like I said about self-love, we're taught to say you can't give what you don't have, and you can't have what you don't give. So if you accept yourself, it will be easy for you to accept others. So if you want to overcome loneliness, one way is by accepting yourself. Accept the way you are, accept your flaws and work on them, because no one is perfect.
Wow.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So we've heard it, I think I'll also work on being creative. And actually, I'm good at writing poems, so just that, like when I go home, I'll just try to write a piece so that I can also work on that.
Yes.
Yes.
So like those who were with us during the 1 month campaign, we were taught one way of expressing yourself is through a journal.
Yes.
Every day, write something. Write something about your experience. Write something about what you're going through, what you've done, what you've achieved, and what you've worked upon yourself, or what change have you brought. Write it down and let others see. Yeah.
All right, so if you're joining us now, we're looking at dealing with loneliness, and we're almost concluding this show. So from what we've learned so far, dealing with loneliness, what's a message out there to our dear viewers?
All right, to someone out there, what I can tell you is you are not the only one going through something. Everyone is fighting something. Everyone is going through a challenge. Everyone is wanting to heal from something. So it's important for you to accept yourself. It's important for you to keep yourself busy with something. Join a group of peers. Join groups on there are WhatsApp groups that talks about healing. There are WhatsApp groups that are talking about being creative. There are WhatsApp groups that are promoting self-love. There are a lot of things going on. Involve yourself in different activities, because if you are always found alone, even the Bible says an idle mind is the devil's workshop.
Yes.
So if you are always alone, you have nothing to think about, nothing to do, you always find yourself lonely, and you always find yourself making wrong decisions.
Yeah.
Always open up, if you know it is beyond you, visit a therapist. And another thing I can tell you is, no matter your challenge, avoid social media. It's a mistake most of us youths are making nowadays. You have a challenge to bring it out on social media, wanting a solution on social media, and people make fun of you. Instead of healing, you will find yourself in more depression.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yes.
So how can people get in contact with you if at all there's someone who wants to talk more? And remember, there's that book you mentioned at first, how to overcome, pornography, all those things. How can people get in contact with you?
Okay, so you can search me on Facebook. It's Ivan Mapevagwada. When you find my page there, there's a WhatsApp number. You can inbox me, or you can email me at mikevagwada@gmail.com. Yes, there you can find me, or you can search for me on YouTube. It's Vagwada Talks. On TikTok, it's Vagwada Official. So just search the name Vagwada and you'll find me.
All right. How about if someone wants to join the self-love group? How can they get in contact?
Yes, so if you want to join the self-love group, because we've continued with different lessons, we've not ended from the one we had. People are coming out with their testimonies, how it helped them. You can join us, like I've said, reach me, find my page, there's a WhatsApp number, then I'll connect you to our admins and our moderators, and they'll help you and we'll help each other.
Wow, this has been so interesting. It is good to having you part of this show. So, our dear viewers, we've learned quite a number of things from Mr. Vagwada here. He highlighted a number of things concerning how to deal with loneliness. So, from what he said, he was able to brought up issues to do with family members, being having this loneliness. It could be in children, it could be youths. Even elderly people, they also have such challenges. And he's also mentioned something, if at all you want to overcome it, you want to come out of this loneliness, you need to go out, you need to start journaling. And if you do all those things, you'll be able to overcome loneliness. And like he said, if you want to get in contact with him, you can go on Facebook, Ivan Vagwanda, and he would definitely reach out to you. Well, this has been your host, Covines Mwengo, psychotherapist. We'll see you next time and same time. It has been me, Covines Mwengo, psychotherapist. Bye-bye.